Annyeong. How do you say hello in Greek?
Yasu.
Bless you.
Yasu.
Bless you.
Yasu if it's if you're talking to one, Yasu to you. But if you're talking to
Okay.
many, Yasas. But the plural, sas are many. And su
So is
is
too
one.
many or is two, like if it's two of you, is that
It's
considered
many.
many?
Yasas.
Okay.
Yes,
Any
Yasas.
more
it's
than
two,
your any more than
yasas.
yourself is
But
too many.
but you can say yasas always because it's a plural, and plural here in Greece is the kind way,
Oh,
to
Is that like
speak
okay.
to
French?
people.
Is that like French when you say there's the li for the boy and la for the girl when they talk about
No,
objects?
it's like in Texas when you say all y'all,
What
or
the
just
hell?
y'all.
Okay, never
Yo,
heard of
You can
all
say
what's
y'all.
y'all, or you can
y'all?
say all y'all.
I never heard
What's
of all
that,
y'all.
y'all? Hello?
Yeah, I never heard that.
What's that?
So
That's
that's
definitely
the
Texas
plural of
language. I never
y'all.
heard that.
The plural of y'all is all y'all. So I can
Okay.
say, Adam, y'all
Yeah.
look good today, and I'm talking to you. But if I'm talking to all of us, I'd say all y'all look good today.
That's like Greek to me.
It's like Greek. It's like Greek to every. I think it's like Greek to everybody. So, all right, very cool.
Steven's got to learn.
Steven
Steven has to learn the
agrees.
local lingo. He needs to
No,
integrate
never.
it.
No,
Logoingo.
no. I
Come
actually
on,
have
I
dude.
IQ
lost my
points,
straw.
so I have triple Q. I have a triple I digit IQ, so I can't learn the local lingo. So,
Whatever. I lost
So
my
Vicky,
what?
straw.
We're going without
Vicky,
logo? She
apparently we're
left.
talking to Vicky
Look,
Focus. She left.
she
What is
left.
it? And she got
No,
upset that we
I
didn't learn the
lost.
local lingo.
Guys,
I
we are
lost my
live,
straw.
so don't worry. We are very live, so everything happens
We're
here.
live. Everybody's
Are we
watching
like?
Vicky's
Okay.
Focus. We're live.
Sorry.
I tell
All
you what,
right.
Vicky,
Never
why don't
mind
We
you
then.
didn't
we'll
realize
wait, here, Vicky. I'll give you 30
that we are
seconds. Here.
waiting for her to sit.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
Now we're back. There you go. You found whatever you were looking. Hold on. What did you?
A
Did you
straw.
pull it up?
I
Oh,
knew.
straw. God forbid.
I
God
knew
forbid.
that she
Okay.
was waiting for you to sit to play the logo, the intro.
Yes, that was it. So we're very happy about that. All right. So now that we're here, I don't think David's joining us today because he's having a Viagra problem. So he's at the
Viagra.
hospital. He took too much and now he's at the
Too
hospital
much.
and they're fixing it for him. So yeah,
How many did he take and when?
I think he took the whole bottle because he was excited that he was like today was the day.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well,
it's like
I think he was excited afterwards.
well, according to the bottle, it stays harder longer than 4 hours, you got to go to the hospital. So he went to the hospital to make sure that they can take care of
How long does this shit? How does it even work? I mean,
it.
I
So
don't
here,
know
I've never taken
yet.
it. Here's I've never taken it,
Uh-huh.
nor
What do you
and I
know?
know.
What do you know? Okay,
Vicky, you know that's true because at night you
Vicky, do
spent
you
it
know
grinding me.
you have
Anyway,
met?
so
She doesn't
anyway,
know.
she
She
doesn't
doesn't
know.
any
So
blue or red pills.
here's how
She took the she takes the red pills. The Trump pill.
here's my understanding of Viagra. So Viagra, when they were testing it on bald men to grow hair. And what happened is
Yeah.
when the guys would take the
They
pill,
grew something else.
correct, they would get an erection. So
Uh,
I think whoever I think
Maybe
it's
it was
Pfizer.
because
Yeah,
they were excited about
they was happy
the
they were
growing hair.
process of
balding.
having
Right,
hair
right.
on the
Yeah.
on the head.
Apparently Viagra did nothing for their hair growth, but did the other thing. So I think it was Pfizer that's like, ooh,
Uh,
I have an idea. So what they did is they made it into the pill that it is today. But I know a friend of mine that takes it, not me,
uh-huh.
says on the bottle, it says if you're with Vicky, no, it says
Uh-huh.
if you're, it says if your erection lasts longer than 4 hours, you need to go to the seek medical attention because
Oh my
apparently
god!
um, it can do permanent damage.
Yeah, but
So that's all I know. Huh?
what if you take Viagra and, for example, it lasts 3 hours,
Then you're
and
good.
then it would go? Yeah. But
Go
you
on.
have the natural your own
So
later.
you're,
Well, it woke up. I don't know.
If I
And
think if it's your own, it's
what,
okay
does it
because it's blood
count
flow.
to
I'm
the
sure, I
problem?
have no
Or
idea.
oh
No.
my
All
god!
I know is it takes the blood from my
Your brain.
understanding, your brain and your like literally just puts all the blood in one
Oh, so at
spot.
that time we're not thinking much.
Well, we're
Yeah.
not thinking most of the time, so it just
Okay.
exacerbates it a little more. So I have no idea why we got on this
Mm.
topic, but anyway, but yeah, so
At least
that's
we are
all I know about
useful.
Viagra. Yeah. So
Public service
anybody who's
announcement.
thinking about taking Viagra, that's all I can tell you about it. So when David's here next week, we'll ask him about the
Oh
whole
my god! But
experience.
now you told me about the 4 hours, and I'm, a new
You're gonna
phobia
time
came.
yourself.
So I cannot take it now
You're gonna time
because I
yourself
will.
next time.
You know what I will do? If I would take a Viagra now, I will
Yeah.
put the clock if when 4 hours come, if it go down. And from my stress, because I
Yeah.
got panic, like the panic attack I got,
Attack,
from my
yeah.
stress, yes, I'm
Yeah.
sure in 10 hours it will still be working. Yeah.
You're just a
And
hypochondriac.
because I'm a shithead, I wouldn't
Maybe
go
half
to
a
the
cup.
doctor. And I would
You
have a
would-
permanent damage. I would have a permanent erection
just-
forever
You would just turn around
without
and bump into a
Viagra.
wall and break the doorknob. Then you'd be go. I
Yeah.
guess I don't know. So like I said, I have friends who have taken it. I've heard all the funny stories. A friend of
Now
mine
tell
who's a
me,
nurse
did
told me about.
they grow any hair?
No, that's the whole thing. They did when
It
they did
didn't work at all for the hair.
when they did the case study. There was nobody grew hair. They grew something else, and that's how Viagra came into play. That's
I
my
think
understanding.
I think it's all a hoax. And you know how it starts? It
Oh,
started from the men who were really excited to grow hair.
oh
So at the
God.
beginning, the psychological happiness that they had, that they were going to have hair again.
Vicky's
Yeah,
contemplating
made them
this.
horny.
Okay.
And then,
I'm not even
word
listening.
by word that it works like this, people
Mhm.
were taking it. It's like the placebo effect.
That's right. Yeah. What were you going to say,
They,
Vicky?
they don't know. They don't know because
Nothing.
there's always placebo effect, always.
So
And
wait, Vicky's a female. We can ask Vicky this question. Have you ever
Yeah.
dated a man that has taken Viagra?
No.
she said no before.
Yeah.
You know I date teenagers, Stephen. What's the point?
That's true. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, they don't take it. I guess that's true.
Duh.
Well, and it's
They
funny
are
because
like 40 years away from Viagra. I date only. That's the first question she asked. How far are you from Viagra?
Yeah, exactly.
that's
That's
the
right.
question. The first question Vicky says is how many years are you out of high school? And there's a
How
thing.
many years are legal?
How many years have you been legal? And as long as it's 3 but less than 10, he wants to date
The
you.
sweet spot.
That's
But
there you go. That's her.
you
sweet
know
spot.
who is his best friend? But friend, like real friend,
Yeah. Who?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh.
Yes,
because
He wouldn't date
dates.
me. I'm not hot enough.
No,
for
they
his
don't
little
date,
ass.
but they talk about experiences.
Oh, is that
God.
what it is?
That's what I'm talking about experiences. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's
about
funny.
the younger generation, younger generation. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my
They
God.
talk about how they are spoiled right at the moment, at the present times.
But I think here's my question since we're on this topic. So do you
Okay.
not I just have a question and we
What
don't have a
topic
medical
are we
doctor.
on?
I have no
Okay.
idea. Your dating topic. No, but I mean,
Oh,
do you
okay.
take it because you don't have blood flow? Or I understand why you take it, but what's the reason that you can't?
Right, because if you don't have
That's my
blood flow,
question.
then you have other medical issues that you need to have addressed, like,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, but it works on the
I would assume.
or does it work psychologically somehow?
No, I think it really does drain I think that's why they get nervous if it's over 4 hours because there's no blood going all over. It's going to one spot. And I think I forgot.
Hey
the
guys, I'm
damage
going to
it can do.
explode.
So
Everything
well,
I have,
okay.
everything I have has gone into one place.
I
Okay.
think that's how
So
most decisions are made in government.
that's true.
All
Yes,
in
they all
one
take
place.
Viagra and then they have a meeting. So what do you want to talk about this week? We've beat the Viagra to death, literally.
Well,
and
guys,
figuratively.
let's talk about sex. We haven't
Okay, there you
spoken
go.
about sex for a long time.
Oh, sure. Look at Vicky. Vicky's like, that? Oh, what's that? Love
I'm
that.
not.
Gonna
Yeah,
talk about
it's too
sex.
early in the morning for that, but okay. Let's go.
No, she just made a gimmick that talk about it. We should only do it. Why talk about it?
right?
No, it's you can talk about it. What do you want to talk about?
So let's talk about sex.
Okay.
It means we can talk
Grab
about
that part.
Trump now.
Okay, so okay, we're done with the sex and the Viagra. We're going to Trump and Elon Musk. Okay, where do you want to go with that?
But
There's a
you
lot.
wanted
There's a lot to
hardcore
unwrap.
sex, so here you have it.
Oh, Donald Trump, sure. So Vicky, that's Vicky's pass if she ever got married. Donald Trump. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God, I have standards.
I know you do. Hey, you know what's really funny? Elon Musk apparently just had his 13th child. Talking about sex.
Ugh.
I'm just
What?
saying.
Is this the
He's
one
just
that was
trying
all
to
over Twitter where
Child,
she was like,
13.
13th.
she like sent a message over X saying that I don't know which baby mama this was, but she was like, you can't ignore the health of our child. They're really sick. You need to
Wow.
contact me and shit.
Oh,
Was that
wow.
was X's mom? What's her name?
I don't know.
Oh, she's that weird musician. Forget her name now. But she was like,
Okay.
I think it was
Grimes.
her. Grimes. Was it her? So
Grimes?
one of the baby mamas went on X
Yeah.
and was like, hey, asshole, your kid's sick. And you have to stop ignoring me because we have to make a decision about this child's health, blah, 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 blah. And like basically publicly shamed him until he apparently responded. And then she withdrew her little social media campaign to get his attention. And I was like, wow.
Did they shame him enough where he reached out to her, or we don't know?
Don't know. I mean, we assume because she stopped, but
Okay.
like Elon didn't come out and say, hey, by the way, I've taken care of my kid.
It takes time to count money.
No,
Other
he's not
people's
counting
money.
it. Other people's
No?
money? No, stop.
He knows
Don,
how
by the
much
way,
he has?
everybody knows how much he has.
How
So he
much?
makes it. He
I
tells
don't know.
everybody he's got 400 million. What is it? $400 billion. Come on.
400 billion.
There was a guy on YouTube yesterday, and I thought it was very funny. He says, if he has 400 billion, why doesn't he just give the 8 billion people on the planet, each of them $1 billion? I was like, that's an interesting hypothesis, right? That would leave them, say, we'll just round down by 10. That leaves you 430 billion, and you're still the richest guy on the planet. Then
Well, because
nobody
you
would
have to have
care
a
what you're doing.
soul.
But if
Oh,
he has
First.
he has 400 billion,
He has 440 billion, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
then look, he
Yeah.
he can give each person
In America.
on the planet
In America.
$50 and still have 40 billions.
Right, but why doesn't he just give? There's only 300 million people in America. He can give each one of us, but it really doesn't work that way because 1 billion times 300 million is like goes into the trillions. So the guy's math is a little off. He can give everybody $1 type of thing, and that's about it. So unfortunately,
And
you can't do that.
it's the
You
total
do $1
amount
million.
of his assets and everything.
Yeah, he could give everybody in America $1 million or
Because
half a
he's got
million or whatever, and then that would
he
be
doesn't
okay.
have so much money because if he would like to liquefy, right? Liquefy
Liquefy?
those.
Oh, he'd have to.
Yeah, it's a lot
Liquid.
of
He has to have a
I
liquidity
think
event.
he's got a lot of
Tesla stock,
Tesla
But
shares.
his Tesla stock is going down because no one's buying his car
Yeah,
anymore.
it will go down
Mhm.
now.
And then I don't know if you saw David sent out a thing. I don't
But
know if it was for
he will
us.
earn other things through the government.
Well, you mean stealing? Yes. When you steal, you earn a lot of
Oh,
money.
more
That's the
than
way that
stealing.
works.
More than
No,
stealing.
stealing. It's stealing. So,
Oh,
and
what
then just,
stealing?
and
He
then
will take a lot of jobs with the government.
we need to take. He's going to work a lot of jobs.
I mean, no, I mean your best client is a government. Well,
yeah.
he'll have the best client, the government.
Well, let's go with that. The other thing is that he sent out a thing on Friday that said if you don't justify your job, you'll be fired. And I read an article this morning, I think it was in the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal,
Job.
that all these
CEO.
agencies from the Department of Defense, the Department of Justice, and all these companies were like, no, don't answer him. We have to figure out, does he have the legal right to do this? And blah, blah, blah. It was a whole thing. So his threat of, if you don't send us an email, we're going to fire you. All the different departments in the United States are like, no, we're good. So a lot of them are pushing back now, whether they're Republican or Democrat on his whatever. The funniest thing that he's done, because he's so smart, when he fired the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, he fired the whole division of that, and then they had to rehire half of them because those are the guys that safeguard our nuclear weapons and nuclear waste. So it's kind of like The inmates are running the prison, and it's kind of like,
Mm.
guys, you're so stupid. And we've talked about this. A, B, C, D, and they stop at D, and they don't go E to Z. And I said that last year, if you remember. I said that's what they're doing. They're going to make look what we're doing, right? But you're only doing this part of the alphabet. What about the rest of it? And
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna screw something up, and there's going to be
Yeah.
something, as Trump would say, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge, and it's going to
They're
be a
gonna
national
They're
thing.
gonna screw many times. It's not gonna
Well,
that's
I
going
think
to
that's why they're
happen
using
once.
Viagra, right? Isn't that what we
Yeah.
discussed? They're using Viagra for that reason. But
Oh,
yeah, no,
so
it's all
yeah,
bad.
he's on Viagra. So
I
let's
don't
hope that
know.
it lasts more than 4 hours.
Oh my God, I have no idea.
Could be
Let's
permanent
I
hope.
have
damage.
no idea. All I
Donald,
know,
you can keep it for longer.
I did see David sent us a thing. I don't know if you guys got it, but it said on the back of the Tesla. He said, "I bought the Tesla before Elon got weird," and I thought that was pretty funny. You know, it's
Yeah, but
like
Elon's always been
he's
weird. We
been
just
weird.
didn't know
I know,
how
but like,
weird he was.
yeah, yeah. I
Especially
think now we
if you
realize.
ask Rawls,
He
he'll tell
wasn't
you
so
all
much
about it.
political. He wasn't so much political. I mean, it's the last 2 years or something that
No, I think
those
he's always been
three.
political, but I think he had to get the right
He had to get to that
in the
point.
White House. Yeah, he had to get
Yeah.
to somebody that
He had
he
to get
could
his ducks in the
control.
row to get. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, on Vaguely True, Rob Vegas said, which I thought was true, he said that Elon is making a mockery of the White House and the presidency and the United States. I don't know if you,
Mm-hmm.
a couple days ago, he had his kid in the White House running around. And like, and Rob's thing was, what is this? Bring your child to work day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, it's the White House. It's not for that. Even Trump looked bored.
Even if it was bring your child to work day, it's not his work. He's not in the Oval Office. His ass should not have been in there having that press conference with his kid. That's not his job. He was not elected. So it's not even that stupid. It's just insane.
Well, not only elected people go into this office, I think.
To have a press conference at work, yeah. They don't, you
It's
can go
up
on a
to the
tour.
president to decide, I think, anyway.
I think
But those are minors. Those are minors. What I want to tell you is that in Europe they don't feel very well about Trump. Not at all. They feel that the whole thing with the Ukraine and how he openly called Zelensky a dictator.
And dictator called Trump
He
a
said,
Zelensky.
he said he should. Why don't you do? So he's copying all the aspects of the Russians,
Well,
Always has.
Zelensky called Trump a dictator, and then
No, Trump called Zelensky dictator.
Zelensky called Trump a dictator as well, and a tyrant.
Oh.
And then Zelensky said that he would step down as president on two conditions: one, they're guaranteed peace in the Ukraine, and two, they get NATO membership. Because what the U.S. has said that they want to help the Ukraine, which Zelensky says is BS, because they have minerals that we want. So really, it's like the Russians are attacking Ukraine because they want the minerals. We're like, we'll help you, but you have to give us your minerals. There was a big article last night in the Financial Times talking about all of this, and I was laughing because really everything Trump is saying, Zelensky is calling him just a liar. He goes, you're lying. We didn't say that. We didn't agree to that. So it's very bad. When you look at it, it's sort of like Trump gets on TV or does whatever, and everybody's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, now people are like, oh, it's not that. So I think it's very interesting on how this is going from A to Z, but I don't think it ends well.
It's not nice, It's
it's not nice. Yeah, I don't think it ends well.
It's really dumping, It's really betrayal in a way. At least that's how most people think it's here. And we had the elections in Germany today, and
that didn't
Nazi
go well.
Party won. Yeah, that didn't go well. And most of the people
they knew that 20% is going to vote for ADF.
Yeah, but they won.
If you're saying about that, but in Europe, that is actually, if you take all Europe,
right,
that is actually the maximum they can get, I think, right now. There are some countries which are more right, like Italy now with Meloni, but she's soft right, soft alt-right, let's say.
Without Viagra.
But
Got it.
yes, in Germany, okay, it will be again a coalition between the first and the third, the
Right.
socialists that were up, and now again the party from Merkel that Merkel was before.
Right.
And
And then Elon called
yeah,
the ADJ party and wished him congratulations because
but
Nazis stick
look,
together.
it's a
You
big
sure you didn't give
difference
him a
because
salute?
I
I think you did.
don't know. What now?
but that's a big difference because look, we have 20%. That's it. I think the most. You've got a
Right.
president like that.
Yeah.
You got a president who belongs to this kind of, and he's a crazy president. I mean, crazy. He feels that he is elected to make the change, and
Well, just so
if you
you know,
ask,
the voter share for the AFD party was 20.8. And then other parties were lower. And then the largest party was the CSU party at 28.5%. And now the AFD party will control 252 seats. I'm sorry, 151 seats in their parliament. So yeah, it's very interesting to see what's going on. But the world's turning fascist and leftists overnight. Reminds me of another time. I wish I could think of it. Oh,
you
that's
mean
right, the 30s.
extremes? You mean extreme?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Who are the leftists? Who are the leftists?
People have used their left hand. No, I mean, if you look at what's going on in different, even our country's going a little nuts. We just, the assistant director to the FBI.
Of course,
is,
you are going nuts. You elected Donald Trump. Whatever he was saying. Yeah, but as a country, you did.
And
So,
then Donald Trump just picked, just so you were aware.
and you know something I was thinking about, because you were saying this before elections. I mean, months before, many times. That you were talking about even civil war in United
US.
States,
Yeah.
And I started to think about it, and it's not. I don't know what, but it's you're gonna have trouble with this guy,
You think?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but for real. I mean, for real.
What do you mean by trouble? When you say we're going to have trouble, like, what do you think? What do you think? Vicky's here. She sees what's going on. Texas is having their own
Look,
issues.
he loves the power,
You
a
think?
lot.
He's not
He
leaving.
loves it. He loves it a lot, and he doesn't care much about his public view, how people are viewing it, how people are looking. That means that he feels that he can say whatever he says,
right?
Asking whatever he wants to ask, say any crazy idea,
right?
Because he's like not just the king of USA.
Yeah.
But he's the
He
king of
thinks
the
he's the
world.
king of the world. Yeah, he's king of the world. Him and
he's
DiCaprio.
king of the universe.
The
He's the king of the universe.
I didn't see Trump on a ship going, I'm king of the world. Here's the interesting thing.
Mind.
In his mind, he does that, I'm sure, daily. But here's an interesting thing. So as Trump is king of the world, at some point, I've said this before, the 300 and some odd million people in America are going to get fed up if you don't do something for it, unless you're going to turn them into a fascist
At some point, they will.
state. Or it's going to go the way of
now we're looking for the point now.
Right.
The show has started.
Right. But
now we're looking at the point.
Just remember this. Germany, only from the time Hitler was like, I'm going to be a nice guy, till he actually took control and had the Night of 1,000 Knives, only took 40 days before he got rid of everybody.
It's different time, because look, they could do a lot of stuff, behind the closed doors and everything, and people not to know, because they didn't have that kind of information, that fast information.
Even
and
if
here, whatever happens,
no one's going to do anything.
Even one move, we know it in seconds. It's different.
Wait. If he does a Night of 1,000 Knives here in America, let me ask you this: who's going to stop him? The DOJ? No. The Attorney General?
Look,
no.
I think the deep state in America will stop him. The deep state is not Trumpic yet. He will try to make it Trumpic. That's what he will first try to do. The deep state, that is generally Republican and Democrats. But he's using the Republican, because now the Democrats, they don't really exist.
Okay.
If it wasn't Trump, there wouldn't be any Democrats.
You mean Republicans?
Republicans, sorry, no, yes. So he can say that I'm making my own party. I'm stepping out of Republicans. I'm naming my party Trumpists, whatever, and he gets elected the same. It's not
Trumpist party. Do they all go? They're going to wear red MAGA hats that are made in China. So here's my. I
Well,
thought that was the best.
look. To be honest, that is democracy, actually, because
Wearing MAGA hats.
no, that there are many voices, many different voices.
Yeah.
That there's the MAGA party, there's the Republicans, there's the Democrats, there's the leftists, because the Democrats are not leftists for us in Europe, at least in Greece, and depends also the country,
Right.
For us here, we have a long history with leftists and communists and stuff. My father took part in the Civil War.
I know you told us, and he
yes.
he was like a little spy, and he did a secret mission on the Nazis and everything.
Yeah, when he was very young.
Can I tell you that short? We put that out as a short. It got a lot of views. People were very interested that your father was a little.
But that's why I tell you that the Democrats, Biden, was not any kind of leftist politics.
No one said they were. He was just a weak president because of his age.
You are using it this often, and Trump also was saying this, that Kamala will come, the leftists, the communists like this, and I was laughing. What kind of communist? You didn't, but Trump
Vicky said it because Vicky's a communist. But.
No, it was an argument. It was an argument. That's why I'm saying that you said that there are lefts and fascists. No, actually. It's not actually like that, because those are people. Trump is a guy who he didn't shape in a way he kind of put a big stone onto the whole Trumpist thing. Right. There was the audience before that. There are people who are disappointed with the policies that were always taken by the elite, by the system, actually, by the system. Okay. And Trump got into the system because the system was Democrats and Republicans, and he entered through Republicans, creating his own kind of movement, actually.
Okay.
So in a way, he's using democracy, but he's fighting democracy, using democracy. Also, Hitler did this, of course, but we're in a different time. He knows this. He's not a crazy guy.
I don't.
He will squeeze he will squeeze the amendment. How you call it?
The Constitution.
The Constitution. He'll squeeze it to the bones, so that he will get the power that he can for as long as he can. That's it. And now he's got absolute power for the next 2 years, I think. Yes, because the Congress and the
till 2028.
Of course, I don't because look, it's complicated politics. We're talking about America. He doesn't want people to go out in the streets. And he also doesn't want Republicans to be against them, because there might be Republicans. There are already Republicans who say, what the fuck is going on?
Right. There are actually people going to the street, he can declare martial law, and then he could have the army move in, or the National Guard. So in theory, if people do go in the streets, that would fall into his plan, even as we would say, more better. Because then he can do his presidential authority and go, a terrible time in the country, yada, yada, yada. So for him to kill the 2028 election, he could get to the point where people screw you, we're going to riot nationally. And then he would just say, we can't have an election because it's all, fake news and all this other crap. The flip of all that is the midterms are coming up, and we'll see if the people like the Republicans or the Democrats. Now, the problem with the Democrats, and we've said this before, is they have no policy and they have no backbone, and they're not standing for anything, and they're not bringing anybody to light that actually, I don't want to say is like a counterpart to Trump, but they're not bringing anything to light that have people say, hey, this guy could run the country. I mean, the Democrats ran on, you can be transgender, boys and girls in sports and lot. They ran on a bunch of stupid shit. Trump ran on America needs more military, make the people get money. So people are like, ooh, this is like an old school politician. And the Democrats are still with their fingers up their butts and have no clue. And that's the problem. And until the Democrats come with somebody that say, hey, listen.
Yeah, it will take time. It's just the beginning. They're boiling stuff underneath. I'm pretty sure that they're boiling.
They have no time. They screwed the pooch.
Yes, because you know what is the Democrat problem as well? Because it's not only Democrat problem. It's the whole world problem, in fact. what is the next narrative? What do we stand for
Fascism.
now? What do we fight for now?
Most young people in Germany voted for the leftist government because they want a strong whatever. And apparently they long for dictatorship. There was a study done, we talked about it on Brown Car Guy 2 months ago, that most young people under, I think, 30, whatever that generation is, want a dictatorship or a fascist government. They think that's a better government. And since Vicky's under 30, what do your friends think here? What's the story, Vicky? What do you guys in your generation think about all of that?
It's not my generation.
I know. Vicky's 14.
Not my generation.
Yeah. Come on, tell the Tank Commander and I what you're thinking.
Tell the truth.
Well, about what?
We were just talking. Were you paying attention to any of this?
The
Have you been here?
The thing we talked about on Brown Car Guy about the dictatorship.
I think Vicky is starting to feel today
Viagra, effect of Viagra, yeah. So.
Yeah, we jumped around so much. I'm not sure which point
we were
just talking about. We're talking about the Democrats and Republicans, forgetting that that thing.
Right, but are you asking about that, or are you asking me about the survey of
this? Both, kind of like what you like. You have friends. I don't have them. So what do your friends, male and female, think about?
I mean, it's hard to say that because all my friends are super liberal and they're like me. So it was kind of like I don't have any friends that are on the other crazy end of all this. So I mean, I think from what
but what they are saying about what's going on.
Well, a lot of people voted selfishly, I think I've said this
we all vote selfishly. We vote for something that will be good for us. That's what we believe.
No, I don't think everybody votes that way. I think some people vote for the good of others and for the good of the country. At least that's what I mean.
For example, Trump would be good for me, but let's vote for Kamala because she'll be good for the people. Like who votes like that?
Right. Exactly.
I don't know.
Most people that voted for Trump were like, screw the rest of the country. I don't give a shit if you're this, that, the other thing. I don't care about this policy. All I want is more money in my pocket. And he's going to go
so they got also Trump because this is the problem. This is the philosophical problem, the metaphysical problem that I say. That for me, Trump and the guys around him are the materialists. We are in the verge. We are on the peak of materialism, and this is good for me. What is happening? Because people will know. People wanted to see this kind of peak as well. This kind of phase as well. So now they will see it, and they realize that it's not good. And after all, this will wake up people and because it's all about people. The people have more power than they think. Now, for example, there's an action here. There's a problem here in Greece with there were 2 years. I told you before there were 2 years ago a train accident that 57 people died, and it's 2 years. It's 2 years a political issue. And now people are going outside for this issue, and other political parties are trying to get benefit from it. We are supporting and everything, but it's a general political with no party face, disapproval from people, disappointment from people, and this slowly will show everywhere in the West. You'll see this. We will see a lot of unrest, internal unrest also, because of many things, and one of them is the external also policies of Trump. Because, for example, Europe is very important. They don't realize that. It's not only America exists because of Europeans actually created America. At least the way it's totally American. It's totally European country. Let's say. I mean, from the Greek influence. Look at the buildings of the most important buildings in the U.S. So it's. I mean, what is going on is really, really crazy. He's suddenly in no time switching, and he's dismantling the West. We're talking about big thing. So
here's the question: isn't that like the little guy with the mustache? Isn't that what he tried to do? Dismantle the globe as well?
It's very different. It's very different now because look. I tell you about look what we need to do. Europeans and Canada are
Right.
talking with China now about because Trump is whatever talk
Mhm.
we are saying, we will start talking. Trump is saying to everybody,
All right.
we will start talking. But if you don't do this, what I say, what I want, I'll give you taxes. Well, how they're
Right.
calling the
Mhm.
you
The
know
tariffs. Right. Right.
yeah
Right.
yeah
Yeah.
25%.
Mm.
And this suddenly, disrupts the economy, the global economy disrupts. That means that people which are already feeling in the West, everywhere it's expensive, it's going to be more expensive. It's going
Right.
to be for sure.
It already
Because,
is.
Yep.
yeah,
Right.
but it's going to go more. It's going to go
Yep.
more.
No kidding.
So people will need to find ways to take it down. I mean, the politicians, even the politicians in Europe, look,
Yeah.
they want their asses also to stay in the politics, to do
But
something
apparently,
for you to get elected again.
right.
So
But
they will find, and
the politicians
look,
in America don't want apparently that.
and it's really a shitty
Mm.
move because look, the biggest price of the war are
Right.
paying Ukraine, of course, and Europe. The Europe is not in a good economy for 2 years at least, especially Germany, because we don't have the Russian energy. The Russian energy was very cheap,
Yeah.
and because of the war, we had to stop buying it. So okay,
You
so
didn't listen. You didn't have to stop. You could have kept buying it. You just guys, you stopped buying it because you're like, oh, we have solidarity with the Ukraine, and Putin was hoping that
no,
everybody would
Biden
cave.
told us to do it.
Mm.
The
Yeah, but
Americans
Biden
told us to
doesn't. Yeah,
do
but
it.
it's fucking deal. The Americans tell you to do. The Americans tell you to jump off a bridge. You're gonna jump off a bridge. I mean, come on.
Well,
Let's
yeah,
be
yeah,
realistic.
we have to.
Not
The way
anymore
the way
because
the world is how it's constituted, how it operates right now.
Mhm.
Yes, we are the West. We are one side.
Not. No, we're not.
It's
Have you met
it's
the new
like
president?
it's like suddenly Trump comes and goes to Israel and says, "I'm not going to give you any weapons."
Yeah.
Why? The Israel says, "Because I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Hamas maybe
Putin's
is not
willing.
that bad."
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You understand? It's like
I
that.
got it. The
It's
problem
like
here's
that.
the but here's
Either
the
you
bigger
are ally with somebody,
yeah.
especially in times like that, when the world is gaining color again, because there's China now.
China's always been here.
Mhm.
They've not gone
I think
anywhere.
what Trump, because look, we can't judge, like totally blind, that there is no logic at all into it. What I think is going
Right.
on is
Yeah.
that the aim is China. That is the aim. Everything that
What
is
do you mean?
happening is because of that, because
Maybe.
China is the aim. And Trump says, I have the Europeans, I have them in my pocket. Whatever I do to them, and by the way, I will collect some money because he's a businessman. But I want Russia in my side also against China.
China. Yeah, but China this last
That's not
weekend had
happening.
their yeah, that's not happening. They had war games and they were sailing their
Well,
vessels
he's trying.
past
He's giving
Australia.
Ukraine to Russia.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
here's what's going to happen. Soon we'll be speaking Mandarin
what
here in
China
America. So,
is giving
well, China. I don't. Here's
now
the
it's
thing.
you
But
see.
here's what people keep forgetting about China. And I mean, I'll just bring it up because most Americans don't know because they don't even know where it is on a map. China has two
True.
plus billion people. So when 2+ billion people decide that they want to take a picnic, that's a problem. Xi right now is called back all the entrepreneurs from where he spanked Jack May a couple of years ago, and you're a bad boy, and he spanked this guy and that guy and blah 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 blah. And now because of DeepSeek, he's like, go out now and let's be better than the United States. Let's do this, let's do that. So now China is gearing up to overtake us. The European stock markets have outperformed the US stock market since Trump's been president. So I know everybody's excited about the Donnie, but now the Donnie actually has to do something. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
go
Because
ahead.
But
China
he's
did
doing.
something very smart,
Yeah.
and they realized, okay, like you said, we've got 2 billion people, and we need them on our side per se. We need them to buy into this system where they're okay to be repressed because they're getting some things that they want. So they've become this weird hybrid sort of economy. And let me tell you, when I was in Asia, there's Chinese tourists everywhere. They have so much disposable income now that they're spending traveling the planet, buying cars,
Human
consumer,
trafficking.
like they're the ones that have their money is now the money that's driving everything. And so
the hot money.
because they're doing well, that class of people, they're keeping the system in place. And now, they're innovating with solar and with this and that, and deep seek and all this kind of stuff.
And
you know something,
and they're producing also with deep seek. It happened, but it happens in everything now. We used to, back in the day, which is not back in the day very far away, but we used to think about China copying things and bad copies and stuff like that. Now they're innovating, they're creating same
they still copy shit. It's just
well, not always, not always anymore. Not always anymore. Now they are very good at many stuff. Now the cars they have is very good,
BYD,
and they're
BYD
doing
is
it
better than
cheaper,
Tesla.
and they're doing it cheaper, which is very. They are very efficient also. They have transformed the country. They have transformed the country, and we're talking about a very big country.
But we've done deals over there, and they are sometimes much smarter, more savvy, and whatnot. Now, when you talk about cars like EVs, we did a show about that, a brown car guy, and the comments were all, if you don't impose tariffs on BYD and you bring BYD to the United States, Tesla will go out of business in a week, which is true. They make a real good car, better than Tesla. Batteries are better. Everything's better. So Trump said the other day, if you come in with $10 billion, you can come to the White House, get your picture taken, and we'll tout what you're going to do. So, of course, we were like, hey, BYD, why don't you come over here because you have $10 billion and build a plant right next to the Tesla plant, or just take that one over because that's going to die out anyway. So if BYD comes to America, the electric car industry here will explode in a positive way because BYD they make the Rolls Royce of electric cars, and the batteries are 3 to 4 times longer in distance than what Tesla has. So China just doesn't copy, they innovate. What they do is they start with like, oh, this is whatever this widget is. And then we're going to copy it, of course, because we can make it cheaper. And then they go to the next level, which is how do we make the widget better? And then how do we make the widget our own? There's a book called 2050. It's written by a military leader of China. It's out of print, so you can get it on Amazon. It's like $300 or $400. I've read it. Fascinating read, and everything we're seeing China do now is in the book. It's a blueprint of what they're going to do for 2050, where they're going to be the world power. And Trump is playing into their hands. Now, whether he's read the book or looked at the pictures or colored it within the lines, no idea. But he's playing within their guidelines right now. So when we talk about make America great, blah, 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 we're going to speak Mandarin soon. So, I mean, I don't know if his end game is what his end game is. I don't think he knows what his end game is. But it's very interesting because everything that I've read about all these other countries and what they're going to do, America's just kind of going, whether they know it or not, just falling into that complacency that they're all looking for. And most superpowers only last 150 to 200 years, whether it's the Romans, the Greeks, the British,
how many?
Whoever it was. 150 to 200 years is the average life of an empire. No, in
the
in
Romans
Western
were
world,
longer. The Byzantine Empire, the Eastern Roman, was
I think they're talking about the modern
1000.
era. I was reading this thing about the modern era, and we're talking about because if you look at that, that wouldn't be true.
The
'cause
modern
Chinese
era, there
empire is
wasn't
2,000
many
years.
empires actually.
That's what they're saying. I think they're saying from like the British to the US.
But
to before.
it doesn't even matter because we know our time is passing faster anyway. I mean, look,
we're done as an empire.
In our time, how much we have seen, and we will see a lot. And yes, I agree that China is going. Look, you know what? We need to have our eyes open. What is the advantage of China? And I will say this, and I don't want it to be misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
The advantage of China is that they don't have democracy.
Right.
Because look, democracies, all political systems have pluses and minuses.
Mm-hmm.
We know what systems like Chinese kind of oligarchy is actually about, and what's the bad thing about it. But let's see what the positive is. The positive is that they are very fast. very fast in decision makings, in
Right.
planning and everything, because they don't have too much bureaucracy.
Right.
They can bypass many, but democrats they don't work like that. So you either have this one. We need more efficient democracies.
I agree.
That's what we need. That's the better solution. So
The
I
two
am for
most
democracies, but
right.
I'm saying what is the positive, what they have as a positive against the West, and they can use easily. It's what Putin actually is doing right now,
Right.
and they did it also on in America, in general in the West, because they are supporting the far right. The internet, the social media, they're
Right.
using it very well.
Mhm.
Because it's people are lost. Most of the people are lost. They just have financial problems. They have financial how to deal with the children.
Right.
AI is around. What the fuck is this thing? What is going to do? Which is very important factor. Which we are talking about what we're seeing now, but those guys they're up there. They cannot do stuff like that. They can even do crazy thing, or portray them like Trump
Mhm.
is doing in a crazy way.
Right.
He's for now a lot of an actor for me. We will
Mhm.
see what he will really do. We will have to see it, because he's also he wants to stay in power, so he needs to do some good stuff, like you are saying from the beginning. If he doesn't do something good, if he doesn't do at least give something to the people. You give something, you take something. It's like that always.
Oh yeah, they take your freedom, they take everything, and all
but
that good
but
stuff.
the good thing
Mhm.
with the good thing with Trump, because I try to see the whole picture, is that
Mhm.
he will change things. He will make also in our minds in general that things can change easier than we think, which is important, because we have in our mind that some things, constitution for example,
Mhm.
doesn't change easily. No, he'll show you that even constitution changes everything. Yeah, okay, so in our mind it'll be like this. Oh, even this, some red lines that we have is going to break.
Well,
And
that's
it is good in a way, because my main objective and fear and everything
right.
is the AI, what will bring to the society, because it's society rules. If the
Mhm.
society is not okay, nothing is okay.
Right.
There is no financial things okay, there is no system okay, political okay, military okay, there's nothing okay. So the people are always the ones who are actually, it's what you're saying you were saying even before the elections,
Mhm.
what they will do with the guys who don't have money and everything like that. So
Well,
this
and
is
and
my
you and
point.
going back to China, like they can make quick decisions and build bridges and houses. I mean, look at Qatar and UAE. Like when the prince of that one of those countries wakes up and goes, you know what I think we should do? We should build the Palm. Like the next day they're building. It's like Monte Carlo, right? Like these smaller countries are more agile. America's just got
Yeah,
bogged
they
down.
had they had a big plan. They planned
Yeah,
this for many years. For
right. But
example, it's not the same way that Saudi Arabia. Sorry to interrupt.
that's
The
right.
Saudi Arabia doing with the neon city.
That
There's
New
been
York's
many
having some
mistakes
problems though.
there.
They're having
They
problems.
made it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't plan it well.
yeah.
But Dubai mainly, they
UAE,
planned
yeah.
it very well,
So did
and
Abu
they
Dhabi, Abu Dhabi as well. Now the
yeah
Saudis were
Abu
here.
Dhabi.
The Saudis were here Friday, not here at the house. And if they were, we couldn't tell you. But the Saudis were here Friday in Miami, and they were talking about how they're going to invest in the United States because Trump and MBS are, they're very friendly. So that's an interesting thing. So my whole point is the way this is shaping up, and I think change is easy. I mean, even in the government, the way they're doing it, I think is wrong. I mean, I think you have a 19-year-old who now is a senior advisor at the State Department who has no clue about
Yep.
like where any country is. Things like that. I'm like, yeah, no. And I'm not saying we do it better or worse, but I said this before the election. I said it earlier on the show. You have to go A through Z. You can't go A, B, C, D, E and stop. And that's where they're at. And if this was more well thought out, instead of like, oh, I'm very proud of Elon. He shows up with a chainsaw and all this bullshit. If it was well thought out, like if they said, Steve, go cut stuff. I'm like, great. Who are we going to start with? We're going to start with this department. Great. What's our objective? To cut, save money, blah, 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 blah. Cool. And then, within a week, you can say, here's our plan. And we start doing it. What they're doing is on Monday, they're like, you know who we're going to pick on today? We're going to pick on Vicky. We're going to pick on Vicky's division. I'm going to get rid of everybody. Like what they did at the nuclear
National
regulatory.
Forest Service.
Right. Or the nuclear regulatory, where they got rid of everybody on a Monday, and somebody called them up and said, hey, morons, the guys you all fired are the ones who guard our nuclear power plants, guard our nuclear weapons, control nuclear waste. And like, oh, we should probably bring them back. Do you think? So if there was a little more planning, like, oh, who can we get rid of here? Oh, we have 47 secretaries. We only need 3. Okay. And who, like redundancy that you don't need, but they're not doing it. They're walking and going, proof that you're
Look,
useful.
they're populists. They
Not
need to make a show. They're
It's
making
a bad
this for the
show.
show.
Yeah.
It's a bad show.
That's what I tell you. That he's an actor for now. He's an actor. We will see
He's a puppet?
what will really.
Puppet is
All of
probably a
them.
better
All of them are
description.
actors. All of them.
Oh, I'm an actor,
Oh.
but I'm not running around trying to implode a government.
Yeah, there will be some casualties. Where
You
The
think?
lizard people. I
Yeah.
think, well, getting back to what you were saying earlier about the younger people being
Stupid.
leaning towards a dictatorship and how they,
Right.
I think they go on vacation to Dubai and they go, woo, we're like partying on the beach. Like, this is great. Look at all this stuff they have. And, they see that kind of thing, or they see China taking over and they think, oh, we've got,
Mhm.
an iPhone, we've got this and that. And they see that and they go, this is better than, like, to Adam's point, the sort of muck that we're mired in democracy and the work you have to do to get approval and all that kind of stuff. And it moves slowly. And they're so used to everything moving fast, scrolling through stuff, and their attention spans like ping, 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 ping. So it's too slow. So they see that and there's an appeal to that. What they don't realize is, yeah, it's great until you try and open a web page and you find out it's censored, or you can't buy your porn because it's censored, or you can't have these friends because they've disappeared, or that kind of like stuff. That's the reality of living under that kind of thing.
Right.
That they don't, like you say, they don't see that yet. They see this part of it. And that's kind of like, you guys need to educate yourself.
Yeah, because those countries, all of them, historically, they were operating like this. This is the system they know. This is the system. The same in Russia. Russia has always Russia fell from Tsars, from being an empire, into Bolsheviks and became an oligarch. It was the same stuff actually, in a different names and different
Stalin,
but the objective was the same.
Right.
The few people that were
all the money.
Yeah, that we got all the money. It's still the same like this.
Haven't changed. But that's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's because we don't teach history anywhere. And if you don't read a history book, you won't know. So when people see this and go, oh, this has never happened before. Really? Where would you like to start? We can start in the 30s,
to those kids you like to knock all the time. Yes, they could educate themselves, but we're dismantling the Department of Education. We've systematically already got rid of the good teachers. Kids are worried about being shot when they go to school. There's all these other issues around learning that we have in this country that it is partially their own personal responsibility that they need to learn this stuff. But we've also made learning, like, it's a dirty word to be considered, you're elitist if you have an education. And if you're too smart, then you're just, lording it over everybody else. And it's become like they've demonized being intelligent in this country, which just blows my mind, but it's there and it's on purpose, because this is how you keep people in line, is because you make them stupid and they don't question anything. And was I just taken off the internet now? Was I just like
but it's what I was saying before, that the people have the power, and you're really right about what you're saying, because that's the best way to keep the people distracted. And look, with the AI thing, it will be that's the first thing that they're using into images, into art, into creative time. And with AI you can control it even easier, to make them even more stupid.
No, I think that
And
I think that's TikTok and Instagram and X and all that make you pretty stupid, because it's these 30-second shorts that everyone's like, oh, but we always take about TikTok in China teaches you how to be a doctor, lawyer, or an astronaut. Here in America, it's like, let's do the dance. I mean, or the bucket challenge or some shit. So we really
I have a
dumb.
friend in Europe, in
Yeah.
Paris, actually, or not Paris, in France, and she was telling me about when the US got kicked off of TikTok.
Yeah.
Like her feed was always full of all these US TikTokers, like
Right.
spewing stupid crap. And she's like, then European TikTok came in, and she's like,
Yeah.
it was so nice. It was quiet. I
Yep.
talked to people. We had conversations. It was lovely. And then,
Yep.
like the next day later, the Americans came back and fucked it all up again. I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's what we do. But no, but that's
Yeah.
part of the problem is that the dumbing down of not just our country, but other countries is great for, like, if you will, an oligarch. It's the problem. It's the older generation. And I don't know what older, where people stop learning. I think if you're 50 and older, you learned. I think 49 and under, not so much. And I think it's probably younger in the 40s, but I'm just going to use that as the mark. Because back in the day, we had to go to a library, we use, Encyclopedia Britannica. We actually had to read shit. We had to learn stuff, and teachers gave us things to do. Today, I don't see them doing anything. You went out and played. You had friends. You did social
but
intercourse,
Stephen,
right? And now
we're
you don't.
living in a society which do you know the word plethora?
Plethora? No, what's a plethora?
Plethora.
Stephen.
Yes.
Oh, plethora. I know plethora.
A lot of
Yes, I know
stuff.
plethora.
A lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
I know plethora. Yeah.
We are living in a time where there are a lot of stuff. I mean, a young guy,
Mhm.
he can do a million of stuff to get distracted from
hard to
not
focus.
what he really should do. There is no such thing. But
See, I disagree with all that. I think if you want to focus, you focus. Listen, when I'm working during the day, I have Bloomberg, the Financial Times, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, yada yada yada, phone calls, blah 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 blah. But if I'm doing something, I focus on what I'm doing, and when I'm done
but
with
your brain
that,
was hardwired in a time when they didn't have that. You were hardwired as a child to be able to focus like that.
you had different
They're coming
stuff,
out of the womb with shit like, here's
they're
an
from
iPad as soon as they get out the womb. So it's like
That's
they're
true.
all tweaked out.
And
from
they
day one.
see people with mobile phones or talking to machines like that from early babies. I mean, they are
Kids
born
are going
into
up with their parents' phones like this in front
yeah,
of them the
they're
whole
born
time,
into
and their
this,
parents'
and
face is this.
that's why for them it's easier to operate with those stuff because they are
Listen,
into
no,
it from the
no,
beginning.
I can operate all the stuff just as easy as a 14-year-old. But my point is like I was watching one of our guys from the Habanos Cigar Show or Habanos Saturday Show. He's in Cuba right now for the Cuban Cigar Festival, and they showed me a video of him, and they're in beautiful Cuba on the ocean, and it's beautiful and whatever, and they're smoking cigars, and what are they all doing? They're all doing this on their phones, getting TikTok, and I'm thinking, morons. You're only there for 4 days. Enjoy that moment. You know what? It still happened even if you don't take a video of it. It still happened even if you don't post it. Enjoy it for you. Like when I travel for business or even for pleasure, I don't sit there and take 10,000 pictures and put it on Instagram. That's ridiculous. I'm in the moment.
This is I mean the political things like Trump and stuff are really important, and that's why we talk about those stuff.
Of course.
But this is what you're talking about is more important for me because it's the behavior of the masses of the society in this world, and we are one planet now. It's not countries anymore like used to be. Like, okay, we can call them countries like China because we have different culture and political system and language and everything.
Right.
But after all, we know we live in the same planet and we more or less do the same living now. I mean, okay, there are some superpowers, but the style of living is Western everywhere, even in China. They have taken the Western way of living. But the fight now is the political system and, powers who want to keep the power. But on those terms, because
I feel like I'm watching a Russian tank commander. The way he's
that's what I say every week. He's in his bunker.
Because there's a little Russian tank
hey
commander.
Guys, I
I
have to tell you the news.
You got
so
your
let's
3D
make
printer.
a break.
Okay.
What do I have?
3D printer.
Yes.
Did it
All
come
right.
in?
Yes, I have the 3D printer. It's some days there. I unboxed it. It's untucked. I don't know if it works. I haven't, put it,
That's
but
it
I
yet.
think I will put it today. Maybe I'll make a first
Very cool.
test. So we got it
Very
all
nice.
now.
And next week we may have some 3D printing.
First
Yeah.
thing you make is the fleshlight. I'm just
And
gonna go out.
I got some bonus because the packages, they had some supplies and everything, so I got
Oh, wow.
everything double except the 3D printer and
Okay.
the thing that were broken.
That was very nice of them.
They-
Very
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So
Big shout out to the 3D
Cool.
printer company. Yeah, I'm excited to see what you print. You can print Vicky.
yeah,
That'll be fun, and we can send her back to
I
her
need to
lover in South Korea.
I need to have her 3D model. Or what else you can do, because there is a technique like this. You can take from any picture, from any
Mhm.
photography, you can make a relief out of it. You can do it
Ooh,
through 3D actually. Like we do it years now, decades,
yeah.
through
Very
our
cool.
3D programs.
He lights a cigarette. So I feel like I'm in it's like a German movie with the Russian tank in it.
I don't smoke
It's gonna be like
normally.
Sean
That's
Connery or
just
someone's gonna
I
come
will
out.
shoot you, you little Nazi
you
bastard.
Nazi shits, you fuckers.
Flicks the cigarette, goes. It's
So,
like the Walter
So guys,
Mitty.
I think in general,
Yes.
what my feeling is, because we haven't had a long time, and I see people that are worried and afraid. Some are very afraid.
Right.
I think don't be. Sometimes you have to, as a society now, because I try to see things from a greater perspective. Not from one country or stuff. I see bigger problem the AI, the technology. Technology is changing us. It's changing us from the DNA.
Yeah.
From our customs, everyday things that we do, and the big change are coming now. The big changes are coming now. We will see the big changes coming like tick 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 tick, and we're gonna see them. And that I was thinking that maybe Trump presidency, the crazy presidency, that how I would call it, is something that is needed actually, with the crazy stuff that will be coming around.
Listen,
So
later this year, when the lizard people and the Illuminati let the aliens come and invade the planet, you won't worry about Trump or the AI, because your new overlords will be here. And fat people, you taste delicious. So it's just what's going to happen. So there you go. We got that to look forward to.
I need to go on a diet by this fall. Then skinny.
You're not fat. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm chunky, but that's okay.
Chunky's okay, but I'm talking about people that like an ant can outrun them. I'm talking those type of people. I'm talking the type of people when they go to the Macy Day parade.
Okay, all right.
I'm talking people that are so fat when they go to the Macy Day parade, they want to put ropes on them on Thanksgiving. I'm talking about a fat girl where she can have 2 wristwatches on both wrists and tell time in 2 hemispheres. And when she wears stilettos on the beach, she strikes oil. That's how fat I'm talking. Or you're so fat, a cop walks up to you and tells you to break it up. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. But you're not that. You're my mom would say, you're not fat, you're not skinny, you're zoftic. And that's not fat. That's just zoftic. It's a little chunky. A little chunky's okay. Gotta have a little meat on you.
I don't want to comment on any of that. I'm just gonna let that go. Y'all leave your hate comments for Steven, not me.
I think what he means. What he means is that you are juicy.
Isn't that a brand of clothing that girls used to wear?
I was just say, get juicy on your butt.
It's juicy on the tuchus. Yeah, that's too funny.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's been fun. Hopefully, Adam will be with us next week. If he doesn't 3D print himself into an AI, Vicky will be back next week.
It'll be a 3D printed Adam next week.
Yeah, there you go. And Vicky will be back next week. I think David is may or may not
vacation. He's on permanent vacation. Come on, tell the truth.
That's what they do. He sails around on his super yacht, his mega yacht, and
that's
he just
shows That's what I was thinking that he's doing.
Yeah. He's just hanging out. Yeah, he'll maybe sail into Crete one day.
We need to work. You see,
the rest of us have to work for a living. You know how it goes. It's a tough thing. David just hangs out. He's super rich.
I don't work too. I know,
but you got the German Russian tank commander look going. So they're going to cast you for a movie soon.
We had the most cold days of the year last days.
Yeah.
So it was cold.
It's going to be hot here so soon.
But it's
this week is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
and Dawn said she loved the show. Cheers to us to have a wonderful day, and we always love when Dawn's on. So thank you, Dawn. We appreciate that. There you go. So she's been commenting through the whole show. She said, "Look at Adam. It looks like a Nazi."
I just checked over. I
commander.
just looked at that.
Yeah,
I didn't see.
There you go. So Dawn's our Dawn. We do the show for Dawn. Nobody else. So, and she said
and
privately, she said,
million
I'm glad Dave
other
is not here. I know.
aliens that they will
And,
We
and,
see
didn't
and,
in the
notice
and
that David
future,
wasn't here.
in the
There's no
year
mention of David.
in the year 88,345.
here's,
Now
what David said,
imagine
which I
that
think is,
year,
yeah, here's
88,000.
here's what David said, what I thought is funny. He says, we do these things, we do it for us and for the fans. He said,
But
but two or
imagine,
three hundred
imagine that this
they'll
is
be
for
there.
the next episode,
Millennia.
because we don't have topics anymore.
Yeah.
And you ask me, and
No.
it's not a topic time anymore.
No,
But
we're going to talk about
we
whatever
can
comes
do a
up.
hardcore talking about the future, how we will really
Ooh,
imagine
like
the
that.
future, because the future will come. That's what I'll tell you. And
yeah, the future's here right now. You just missed it.
yeah, but the thing is that not the future was always the present.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
say, but sometimes in the history of humanity were more crucial than others, and we're living that crucial time because
Yes.
we're living the change from the analog to the digital.
Yes.
That means actually, and it's not just on telephones and stuff. It's actually that the organic are becoming mechanical. We are becoming the robots. It's not the point about the robots itself. It's about the mechanical. It's the mixture that is coming.
Let me leave you with these. I'll leave you with these two thoughts then, and then we'll don't forget to tell everybody to subscribe and like. And we'll leave you with these two thoughts. One, I have a friend who always used to say, his name was Kelly. Kelly used to say to me, "Remember, like always creates like." So I always say, "Who's to say we're not a robot, and we're creating the next level of robot?" So think through that.
Yeah, but
and the other thing,
we are part of the chain.
Right.
We are part of the
but
chain. Yeah.
But here's the other thing, which I heard the other day, which I thought was a very interesting statement. A Jewish guy who was at the Holocaust dies, and he goes and he meets God, and he tells God a Holocaust joke, and God says to him, "I don't find that funny," and he says, "I guess you had to be there." Ponder that thought. We will see everybody next week. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I think that's it, guys. We'll see you all later. Cheers.
Bye bye.